recognize that the reaction is at equilibrium state, or the reaction is moving in the forward direction or in the reverse direction. So basically, to find this or to recognize the equilibrium of the chemical reaction, we have ways, and these are mainly two ways. So the number one way to identify the equilibrium or to recognize the equilibrium, basically there are two ways to recognize the equilibrium. The number one way we have to recognize the equilibrium, it is the physical method, and the second way we have it is the chemical method. Chemical method. Next, these physical methods and chemical methods has been given a specific processes. Now, what are these processes and how we can identify that? Let's have a look on this. So, first one, we have a chemical method. So, the chemical method that we use to recognize the chemical equilibrium state, it is the titration. Titration. In the picture, you can see that this is the titration. For the instance, we have to take the concentration of reactants and the products at the interval regular interval, and we have to find it by the help of titration. We have to titrate. For example, we are going to take the reactants or the products in this flask, and we have to titrate with the some specific chemicals, and we have to reach the end point, and we have to note it that what is the concentration of the reactants and products. And if we have seen no change in the concentration of reactants and products, then we will be able to find out that the reaction is at equilibrium state. As we are going to withdraw the reactants and products at regular intervals from the reaction mixture. And when we have seen that there is no change in the reactant and product mixture by finding their end point with the help of the process that is known as titration, as it is a chemical process, then we can be able to find that this reaction is at the equilibrium state. So this is the chemical method. Next, we have mainly second method. This method is known as physical method, and the physical method is of basically three types. The first one we have refractometry, and second one we have polarimetry, and the third one we have spectrophotometry. Yes, we can say that spectrometry. So in spectrometry, basically we have a spectrum, the formation of spectrum in this picture, as this is the spectrometer. We have to withdraw the reactants and products from the reaction mixture, and we have to undergo the spectrometer, as this is the physical method, and we can be able to find that whether the reaction is at equilibrium state, or whether it is moving in the forward reaction, or whether it is moving in the reverse reaction. And we have the refractometer to find the concentration of reactants and products. Next, we have polarimeter, and this process is known as polarimetry. And when we use a spectrometer, this process is known as spectrophotometry. For this reason, we have just in both the methods, the equilibrium state of chemical reaction is recognized. And how we can recognize this state? Simply by knowing the concentration of reactants and products at regular intervals of time. When the concentration of reactant and products is observed constant or equal, reactant and product, it observed that their concentration is constant, then this system is said to be at equilibrium state. So this was a simple ways or the methods that how we can find the equilibrium state by the use of physical or the chemical method. I hope you guys understand about our today's lecture, and if you have any queries you can ask me about that in the comment section. For that time, have a good day and Allah Hafiz.